Good afternoon. Today I will be showing you how to use a compound bow and a crossbow. Now, these are both very dangerous weapons, so if you plan on ever getting one of these, what I'm about to show you is very true and to take very seriously. Now, I know on speeches you're not supposed to wear hats, but when you go hunting, you want to wear a hat. So, I'm wearing a hat because a hat can also mess with how you aim with certain bows and stuff like that. Now, first weapon I'm going to be showing you is a crossbow. This is my crossbow that I own, right here. It's a scope, stock, trigger's right here. You never want to put your finger on the trigger unless you're ready to shoot. And when you're holding this, you always want to keep your thumb not up here, because this string right here will take your thumb straight off. So you always want to keep your thumb below, holding your gun like this. Now, when using a crossbow, I'm going to show you how to load it. Now, this right here, this front piece right here, this can be used to hang your bow up if you're up in a... I use it, in my personal opinion. You can use it to hang your bow up in a tree, or a tree stand. Or if you're in a shack or something like that, it's how you rest it, you put it on the ground. Now, this is also used to load your bow. This is where you put your foot. So what you do is you put your foot right here, and normally I would have in here a crank to pull these strings up until it pulls all the way back up to here and clicks into place. You'll hear it click, and that's when you know the string is fully back and loaded. I'll show you what the crank looks like right now. So this is my crank. These are the strings. So it would go in just like this, and then you'd pull this part right here back. Now every crossbow has a different type of crank or something to pull the string back. So you'd pull this back right here, and these would move down like so, but they both move down at the same time. You normally want to grab them both. And you hook them onto the string. That's why they're kind of like a hook shape. And then what you do is this crank you would put into here like so. There's little notches that it goes in so it stays. And then you would crank it to pull the string up to lock into place. Now, that's just one of the importances about using a crossbow. Normally when using a crossbow, you can either A, if you're up in a tree stand, you can hold it up to your shoulder, and you want to make sure when shooting a crossbow, both eyes stay open with the scope. Don't close one like you normally would shooting a gun or something like that. You keep both eyes open. That's the basics on a crossbow. Now I'm going to show you my compound bow. Compound bow is a little more tricky, in my opinion. So this is my compound bow. It's a Mathews. A lot more strings. It's my quiver on the back where I hold all my arrows. That has a normal spot where it will just clip into. If you can see that right there, it will just slide into place and lock to hold all your arrows. Now, when holding a bow, with that, this is the part which is tricky with a hat because the string. You got to learn how to aim with a hat on if you wear a hat, which I normally do. So for me, I had this little green tick right here, I call it. That goes right in the corner of my mouth right here. That's so that way I know when I'm aiming, the bow's in the same spot, hits the same spot wherever I'm aiming every single time. So I'm going to show you how I pull it back, how I aim with it. First I'm going to put on what I use, because you don't, with these, if you see, there's a little notch right here. This is used to pull the bow back. So what I use, I have a special one for me. Just put this over here real quick. Grab this. This is what I use to shoot my bow. It has a little notch, if you can see that right there. You push it, when it gets on the string, I'll show you. This just clicks on the string like that. Now this is very sensitive. Just one little tap and releases the bow. So you need to be very careful with using this. You never want to dry fire a bow. That's why I'm not going to put my finger near this trigger when I'm showing you how to shoot this bow. But I'm not actually going to shoot it because I'm in my house. It's not a good deal. Okay, so for mine, to make sure the strap's on, you put this through this hole right here. I'll back up just a little bit and then I'll show it to you when I get closer. And mine wraps around all the way across, and mine's Velcro. Goes just like that, just like this. Okay? Grab my bow. Alright, now this, I'll show you real quick. This little notch right here, this part right here, goes just in it, just like that, and clicks in its spot. Now, the reason I like this one is because I can just wrap my hand right around this part right here. So that way I know my fingers never go near that trigger. Because that trigger, I'm not pulling it back, goes that easily. You need to be very careful. So you put that in. And now when you're doing this, a lot of people keep their elbow out. I find it easier to keep your arms in. So pull it back like this. And now I'm using this notch right here, if you can see. Putting it right in the corner of my mouth. And I'm going like this. Now with the bow, you want to keep one eye, you want to keep your, whatever dominant eye you are, if this is left-handed or right-handed, so my left eye will be closed. And I'm going to look through this little peephole I have, so that way I know, so that way that's where I'm supposed to aim. This little peephole is right there. That's where you look through with your eye, and that's where you see the sights. Green one's for 20 yards, that one's for 30, this one's for 50. You can vary out, you can change these sights depending on how you want. This is my little tip on how to safely use crossbows and compound bows. If you go hunting, be careful, stay safe. Thank you.